Welcome, Atlanta United families, to another episode of Resurge Spike ATL with Tommy here once again. Tommy, I hope you had a good vacation down in Orlando. I think 100% of the Atlanta United fans didn't have fun watching that game unless you were actually there. I was unfortunate that I actually wasn't able to go to the game last minute, but to the ones that were able to see it, I think it was pretty painful to watch that. And honestly, I don't even know where to get started, man. There was a
I know where
lot
to
of
get started. I got the perfect place to get started.
come on, bring it,
I
bring it,
get to the
Tommy.
airport 3 hours early, can't check in until 2 hours to the flight to drop all my stuff off. I try to find one bar, just a bar to get a drink, kill an hour. All there is an Orlando City bar at the
Oh yeah, I
airport.
saw you post that.
It's the only place to get a drink there at that part of the airport. I sit down. They had a couple soccer games on, a couple of Premier League games, and I was just surrounded by Orlando jerseys everywhere, purple everywhere. This guy just kept staring me down, and he's just like, "Why?" I'm like, I plan on. I had my Atlanta United jersey on. Pretty sure I had an Atlanta United hat on at the time, and I was planning on watching the game at the airport. And I did not feel at home at that bar. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 1-0 loss to Charlotte, which I mean, it was a that one. It was man. There's a lot of times where I feel like well, I don't think I've had this discussion, with when it comes to the Atlanta United teams, man. But there's a lot of times when you watch soccer and you're like, man, like it's not like we could have walked away with the 3 points, but you feel like things could have gone a little bit better. There was chances where we had in the first half. Don Dwyer had 2 chances in the first half, and it was like you feel you could have got something out of that game. After those chances, yeah, the first half there was really nothing that Atlanta United proposed offensively. There was a little bit more control in the second half, in my opinion, but I really didn't see a well-rounded game, neither offensively or defensively, to where I was like, yeah, we deserve to walk away with those 3 points.
No, I mean the midfield was a disaster. Sadic did not look. I mean, Sadic looked like the Sadic that we kind of expected, just kind of meh,
Yeah.
kind of just there and really not doing too much. So yeah, that was disappointing. I mean, overall, the game was boring. It was just two not good teams really playing, and nobody really able to take advantage of any decent looks that they had, except the random goal that the wind took. Right, the wind
Yeah.
took it. But I mean, it was a game. You go into this knowing Atlanta United's got all these injuries. They've had a week to try to clear it up. Went back to the back three. Um, wasn't too happy about it in general of just the way the setup. When you got three center backs and corners you can't defend a corner to save your life. Every corner is like you're just sitting there going, we're probably going to allow at least a decent scoring chance, right? Like
Yeah.
it was very frustrating to watch any type of defense on any corners or any set pieces. It was pretty sad. But I mean, Atlanta had a chance to at least tie it. I mean, even win it at times. At the end of the game, Charlotte was just begging to get scored on, right? Like they just so many opportunities. Caleb Wiley came in, almost had a goal. There was another opportunity. I forget who had it towards the end there, but I mean, everybody had opportunities to get it in, and Charlotte was exhausted, and we just couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was really I mean, you saw from the beginning or even previous to the game where uh given the facts and everything that that was coming previous to the game, the fact that Atlanta didn't have a lot of their starting guys. Charlotte is at home, they haven't lost at home yet. So Charlotte was honestly the favorite to win it, and yeah, they won it, but it's not like, all right, they showed some freaking football that it was like, all right, it was gonna amaze everybody. I mean, and there, at times, yeah, you see that idea from them where they want to show that, but the quality is not there. And I mean, even with the quality that we had on the field, I feel like we could have had better play, honestly, on both sides, on defense and on offense. But we lost 1-0. I mean, like Josh was saying over here, Charlotte was acting like they won the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, it was like that. And I was impressed with he's also saying I was impressed with Ronaldo than more than Dwyer, and Ronaldo was so fast and testing Charlotte's back line. And from, I don't know if you saw, Tommy, that there was a lot of talk that Ronaldo is gonna be the one that's gonna be starting basically this weekend against Cincinnati. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
that's excellent. I think that you got. I think we know what Dwyer brings us, and it's not a lot. I think he can capitalize on some situations, but I think we know what Conway brings, right? Like that, not much. What's up, Carrie? And then you got Ronaldo, and he looked fast, but also wasn't Fuchs like extremely slow? Like I don't know if he's actually fast or not. I guess we got to see him against another team and see if he's still flying by people. But we need speed, right? Like we need some guys to be able, to make the runs, and we haven't had anybody that's made the runs all season. Literally, I mean, Joseph hasn't been making any runs or anything like that at all. So we got to try something else, right? And I think that bringing him in, it actually ended up being perfect, right? Like Joseph gets hurt immediately as soon as he gets into town, so it should be interesting to see what he can do. He really hasn't had an opportunity to play. That's why he's here, right? So I mean, this is what we need. We need something different. We keep doing the same things. What's the term? Keep doing the same things over and over. Definition of madness, or I don't know. I'm sick. I can't remember all my quotes.
yeah. So we have a first time viewer over here, Carrie Kalamia. I
Kalamia.
think, yeah, Kalamia. I think that's. Sorry, I mispronounced it, but yeah. I mean, honestly, when it comes to the game, man, I feel like we really on the like the first 5-10 minutes, I feel like Atlanta were in a good position of, like, holding the ball, getting, good, not good chances, but they were creating opportunities where they were open up that defense. But now when the problem really that really stuck out to me is the fact that whenever Charlotte started putting pressure in the back line, that's when everything like started, or once either the center backs or the midfielders, whether it was Sadic or Sosa, they started getting pressure. It was just terrible. I mean, we were just giving up the ball. It was sloppy play, and that's been the freaking Achilles tendon to Atlanta United. And I mean, you even mentioned this before on here. I mean, the fact that what you would want to see Atlanta change is be able to play, away from that pressure, or like get, be able to play through it without.
We can't go against the press. We never have.
We
It's
can't. We
never been a
really
thing.
can't. I mean, it's really been an issue since day
Ever.
one, and we still haven't. And another issue, freaking set pieces. I mean, it's always been an issue. I don't know. Like, I really don't understand.
I don't know if
Even
it's
Pineda,
always been an issue, though. I don't know if set pieces defensively have always been a major issue. I
well,
mean, they've been glaring.
the past 2-3 years, it's definitely been there,
Yeah.
where it's like, all right, come on, man. I mean, I get it. Pineda's really only been here like not even a full year technically, but yet again, you feel like, all right, you should know what the weaknesses are from the team, and start working on it. Same thing with the press. I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, we're not freaking professionals here. We're not freaking ESPN talking about Atlanta United, but yet again, come on now, like, you even the guys that actually know about, or like actually do this for a living. Like they know, like, come on, dude, like work on what you actually know that's the weaknesses. But like I feel like at this point, like going into the next point, that here is Atlanta United lacks personality. They lack an identity. Like we've really uh have lacked the of Atlanta United that has basically played a good 90 minutes. We've gotten close to it, but not the full 90 minutes where you're like, all right, they undoubtedly deserved to get a win, or like had a blowout win where you're like, yeah, that's you can't top that performance. You know what I mean? Like I get we're not even 10
Orlando
games
last
in.
year. Orlando last year.
Yeah,
It was right
yeah.
after the break. They came back. I think they won 3-0. It was at home. I think that was the last complete game that we've seen from Atlanta United.
Yeah, it's definitely been an issue. And I mean, we have Josh saying another issue at Atlanta United is giving up a goal.
I mean, we
Teams
can't
always.
predict. We can't stop that. I mean, there's some guys that have just scored some crazy goals.
Yeah, it really has
But
felt.
but remember that. I mean, remember that crazy goal that they scored. We always talk about this game somehow. But Toronto, like when that guy scored that crazy goal in the conference
Conference
finals,
final.
right? They just let him. They let him sit there, and he had time to take the shot. I mean, we've had a lot of crazy goals come in on us, and some are Guzan's fault, and some are just the defense just not being aggressive enough. Like we're the most fouled team in MLS every year, every single year.
Yeah.
I don't see us fouling. Like we do not foul as much as any other team, and like that's what I liked about Ozzy having him here. He was a very aggressive person, and he was always kind of playing on the line. Now that we don't have that, I don't know who's going to be that, because I mean, I guess Dwyer, just have him come in and get a red card 20 seconds into the game. Maybe we could do that, but like I don't know, like we have missed that physical presence. People aren't scared of Atlanta United, and I mean, we should be scared of other teams because they're constantly injuring us. They're getting, they're fouling everybody. They're not getting yellows for it. I mean, Darren Eales was on 92.9 the game, and he's just said, he's like, we're having a meeting. I have a meeting with the refs, but I mean, the radio guys were telling him, like, and obviously he can't say much because he'll get fined, but I mean, you could tell that it's just something that upsets the team in general, and they're not doing anything about it. And I mean, we have Barco. Yeah, I mean, we know the history of him, most fouled player. I think Moreno was like the second or third most fouled player in the league last year. I mean, it's just bound to come for Almada, right? Like Almada and Aruju. I mean, they're just going to get fouled left and right. And until the league starts, we actually get a good referee system here where they actually call stuff, it's just not helpful.
It's not really gonna change whether the refereeing is not gonna change, man. The whole, and I'm not just talking about North America. I'm talking about South America, Central America. Dude, the refereeing is a joke. I mean, a complete joke. And I definitely don't see that changing. The only thing that would change that is the physicality changing in Atlanta United. We've been seeing a lot of like injury issues. Obviously, a lot of this stuff has come. I don't think it really comes from overworking the players or anything like that, but I feel like something could be done. I mean, I'm not no physical therapist or anything like that, but I definitely think that some things could be avoided. I don't know if it's I really don't. I really don't, and I don't want to comment on that honestly, because that's a whole different subject. But getting back to the whole physicality thing, there's really key spots in Atlanta United's squad, like the center back. We had in the first couple of years Michael Parker's. We had another veteran guy in the left wing, like Garza, and then Jeff Lorenowicz, and the offensive midfielder, the same spot that Ozzy's playing. So I mean, those are spots that are crucial to a team, and we really don't have that
We had one, and
anymore.
now he's gone.
Yeah, and I mean, what we had today, this afternoon, Atlanta United post that he successfully won surgery, and even Joseph. You know what was curious, that they posted a picture of together. I don't know if they were actually in the same place in Pittsburgh, and Ozzy was also getting surgery there or something. But that was kind of weird. That I was like, were they in the same place or something? But hopefully, man, I really hope that he's able to come back. I really doubt that he's going to come back to the level that he was, or even in MLS level. But it's tough, man. It's gonna be tough the rest of the season. Hopefully we're able to bring somebody, in the summer, that's gonna be a key factor basically in the midfield for Atlanta United, because all these guys, man, Sosa, Rossetto, Sadich, Hyman, which we don't even know if we're gonna see him on the bench this weekend.
They're
Hopefully,
saying it's likely. I mean, they're
yeah,
saying that he's likely, you know, he's more likely to be on the bench than Aruju, which is something, because we were supposed to see Aruju back 2 weeks ago. That was
yeah,
I mean, they said they were supposed to be 2 weeks ago. So they're playing it safe with these guys, and I understand why now. I mean, you're looking at the schedule, and again, points are points, but these are also lighter opponents, so you should have a better chance of doing something. So I understand why they're trying to play it safe. But yeah, I mean, it's a concern here. But Hyman, everybody, again, this was 2 years ago, but I mean, Hyman started the season out in 2020 hot, and then he kind of cooled down. And I thought that he started to look good last year too. And he can move the ball forward, which is something that we definitely need. And Rossetto, I thought, was getting a lot better, and like apparently
yeah.
he might be back this weekend too, which I
Really?
thought was faster than what they said. They said that he possibly could be back, and I mean, they said 2 to 4 weeks, and it's been 2 weeks. I mean, technically, I don't know. So I mean, things are looking better, but I don't know. I mean, I was listening to five straight final, and they were talking about like the rules as far as being able to bring other people in, and I think we could replace him, Ozzy. But the problem is he was on a league minimum. He was like a veteran, Kubo contract. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. It doesn't seem like it really opens much for us at all. Um, so, because this happened before the end of the first transfer window, which was the problem with Hyman. That's why we couldn't replace him last year, is because his injury happened like after the first transfer window. And that's why we didn't get much salary cap space. So, yeah, I mean, we might be able to bring, something in, but it's going to be a league minimum guy. The guy's probably just sitting at home right now. And, we want to just give a guy a shot and see if he can play still.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna affect on the long run when it comes to, because I feel like even with him being out, I feel like the squad is still strong enough, or it has the quality to get through it. It's just the fact of being able to have that cohesion soon. And I mean, it's not like we're struggling how we were last year. I mean, I don't know how many points we had by the what we've played 6-7 games so far.
Oh, we had like a
uh
one win. We had one win like until I think we had like a
yeah, it was
win
like
early
what,
on.
like July or something like that. We had like 1 or 2 wins or something like that. So yeah, I mean, without a doubt, we're definitely in a better position. But you would want to see um definitely better player, better results than what we've gotten. Obviously, I get it, the injuries are there and stuff, but the quality, I feel like, is always above the teams that we've played so far. And now once we start getting to Columbus, or the New York teams, well, even New York, or New
Let's
York
just
City
talk about
haven't.
May. I mean, think about this: May,
Yeah,
Chicago, New England, Nashville, and Columbus. That's May.
yeah.
That, that's intense. That's an intense May. Like this month, I mean, what you got? Cincinnati, you got Open Cup, Miami, and Montreal. Like it's
Oh,
definitely lighter.
speaking of that, yeah, we haven't really gotten into the subject of the US Open Cup, which that's gonna be April
Wednesday.
4th. Oh no, not April 4th, April 20th. Yeah,
Wednesday.
that's 420. Yeah, 420. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's supposed to be what against Chattanooga at home in Atlanta. So I mean,
My,
it's gonna.
my 420 mascot. Sorry, keep
But
going.
it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what the level of interest is from Gonzalo Pineda in this tournament. I feel like he's gonna have a big interest of wanting to go all the way without a doubt. But we'll see that once the tournament starts rolling. Um, Now going into the next opponent that we have, it's Cincinnati, and I mean we have a Cincinnati team that's been better than previous years. I mean, we have ex Atlanta United striker Brandon Vasquez, who's up there like in the Golden Boot contender as of right now, and I mean. I don't know, man. There's that weird soccer thing that they say the rule of the X, man. The X player always comes and freaking scores on the former team. That's
We
how it
said
always
that last
works.
year, though. He didn't do nothing last year
Yeah,
against.
but well, did he even start last year? I don't think he did.
I think he did the last game. I'm pretty sure he started the last game of the season. I remember him being out there. At least I was at the game, so that's the only thing I remember. But uh, I don't know. But you can't just call him Brandon Vasquez. You have to call him Brandon Vasquez, U.S. Open Cup MVP, because he was the MVP of that tournament that season. Where
Yeah, yeah,
where we're still defending the championship, by the way.
yeah. So, we had Josh here saying Seattle Sanders take the U.S. Open Cup seriously, so I think Gonzalo Pineda will. Yeah, I mean Seattle's been definitely always taking advantage of any cup that they freaking play. Well, they won the what's that other cup, the Leagues Cup last year. So
Yeah, well, we've said this since the beginning that they were going to take Open Cup seriously. I mean, Pineda's won it as a coach, assistant coach. He's won it as a player. So it's obviously very important to him. And I think right now with Darren Eales, I think they want to win anything. They want to win anything right now. They'll take anything. We have the American Family Insurance Cup now, just so we could try to win something, right? We need something. But I do think that they're going to take this tournament very seriously, and I mean, maybe that's where we see Caleb Wiley get some minutes, some starting minutes, right? Like I think we can get some other people in to play that maybe just don't have an opportunity to. So I'm hoping on Wednesday, and I don't know if we will have time to talk about this before Wednesday. Maybe we'll meet up on Tuesday or Wednesday to talk about this game, but I want to see youth. I want to see some of these younger guys that that can come in, and if Caleb Wiley's one of them, cool. I mean, we got some other. I don't know what the rules are this year. I thought someone said there was like a weird rule about calling players up from the twos. So I'm not exactly sure, but I would love to see a couple guys get called up and get an opportunity.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we've heard a lot of these guys, young guys from the twos. That I mean, what like couple weeks ago,
McFadden.
yeah, McFadden was a big one. Darwin Matheus was another one. What was the other guy? His last name's Cobb. I forgot his first name, but
Yeah, and yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then I mean, even Jackson. I mean, that's a game
yeah,
where maybe Jackson starts that one.
yeah,
You look at
yeah.
the talent level of what you're playing at, and I mean, Jackson got a hat trick in his last USL game. So I mean, that could be something. I don't know. But I mean, this is it feels like summer, right? Because we haven't had any midweek games all year, right? And usually it's the summers when we have it. So we've got 3 games in like 8 days. Like we're back to fun, right? Like this is we're gonna have a busy week. So it's
Yeah.
exciting, but it's a little nerve wracking when you've got 3 games and don't have that much depth right now. I mean, we might find out that Aruju's ready for next week, right? Maybe he's ready for Open Cup. At least give him a little bit of time there, and then have him start on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Or maybe we get what's his face Rosetto back. Maybe he plays a little bit in it, but we got an opportunity here this week to definitely make some noise. I'd like to win at least 2 of these next 3.
Yeah, they're definitely winnable games. I mean, it's not like you have these quality teams that are going to be coming, into town, and that's also an advantage that a lot of these games are at home. So that's definitely something that Atlanta United has to take advantage of because I don't know, man, but I feel like we're more shaky than anything when we're playing outside of Atlanta. We're definitely struggle way more away from home.
Yeah, and we're playing in Kennesaw, right, for Open Cup.
Yeah, yeah. Where we usually have the CONCACAF Champions League and also US Open Cup games.
At least the first
Um
couple games. If we make it, to the fifth round, maybe we'll be at the Benz.
yeah, which I don't know. I mean, we even won all the way. It wasn't until the final that they hosted in the Mercedes Benz, but I don't know if it was because of something going on or whatever. But I mean, it was weird because yeah, it wasn't until the final where when they hosted at the Benz.
You sure about that?
Yeah, yeah,
We've
because I
had
mean,
other
even
Open
even the
Cup games.
semifinal against Orlando, that game was in Orlando, and it wasn't yet until the final that they actually hosted until at the Mercedes Benz.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully, man, we're able to have a good run in that tournament as well. I mean, you definitely want to be in Champions League conversation next year. With the quality, man, even there was a lot of Charlotte fans, throwing shade like, "Oh, you got an $80 million squad, um, going up against the expansion team, and yet again, you guys lost." Well, half of those $80 million weren't even on the field. So, I mean, and I get it, I get where they're
I
coming
don't
from,
disagree with them, no. I don't disagree at all. Did you see that graphic they put up like in the second half where it showed like transfer fees and like it showed
Yeah,
like what Atlanta was? Like that's
yeah.
insane. Like you look at that and you say, okay, this is a team that literally said they were screwed like a couple, at the beginning of the season, and here we are. We still got quality. We still got guys that were former DPs, right? We still had Franco. We still had Moreno out there.
Mhm.
And then we've got obviously Amada out there, and it's like we're looking lost. And I know you talked about giving the ball away. We can go back to Sunday real quick. Franco just gives the ball away whenever, like he doesn't even try. Like he's like Guzan. He just punts the ball right to the other team every single time. Like I think he needs to sit. I don't know. I don't know what's up with him. I know he improved last season towards the end of the year. He was a fantastic player in like the last quarter of the season. He's garbage right now, complete garbage. I cannot stand his defending, and I can't stand his passing at all. He just gives the ball away, like possession. Just so many of our guys just give it away, and maybe it's just because of the pressure, but it was so frustrating watching him play.
Yeah, I mean, another one was Moreno. I mean, I don't even think it was the fact that he was getting pressure. I mean, he just tried to do a Barco and try to
Do too
dribble it
much.
through. Yeah, just try to do too much. And there's times where yeah, you if you are in a position where you're in space and you feel like you have the momentum to go forward, yeah, but when you're in traffic and there's 3 4 guys ahead of you, you don't have no space. Even your same teammates are on your way. Like, come on now, like really. Like, just no, man. And we have a really good question. This is a good question right here. Would you rather win the U.S. Open Cup or Leagues Cup next year? They both come with a CONCACAF Champions League spot. Honestly, man, that's not even a question. Honestly, when it comes to the pedigree, I get it as the Champions League spot, and up for grabs, but the Leagues Cup features the Liga MX teams, and if you go all the way and end up beating, or who knows, you might end up facing another MLS team. But the fact that you had to face all these other teams from outside of the country, that puts an extra ingredient to it, I feel like. And honestly, speaking of that, man, shout out to Seattle Sounders. They're gonna be playing the final against Pumas. I don't remember exactly when, but I know they tied yesterday against New York City away from home. I mean, they ended up going through. And man, they're definitely. I really, honestly, I really hope Seattle really win because I'm tired of freaking MLS getting,
Spanked.
but they're getting bullied like the little brother, man. Like MLS is like the little brother that, like nobody gives a shit about, honestly. Like that's
I
really
mean,
what it feels like.
this was the weakest Champions League like in a while. Like a lot of the big teams weren't in this tournament. Like
Yeah,
so.
well, when you're talking about Liga MX, yeah, but well, I mean, even MLS, you technically like the big teams, yeah, weren't there, but there was still quality there. I mean, Seattle has a pretty stacked team, even New
Oh yeah,
York.
I meant the other side. Yeah, Liga. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think that they had their usual like top teams were not there, and
yeah,
um,
America, yeah, Puma, no, not Pumas, Tigres, and yeah, those were there was the. I feel like they were there. They'll definitely be contenders up there as well, but. Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, I'll take Leagues Cup over US Open Cup.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a long. That's gonna be a long tournament, man. And if you're out, it's I don't know. We'll see how this
Yeah, it's a whole month
wears you
long,
out for
so
the next season. Like, okay, sure. Let's say Atlanta wins the Leagues Cup, right? They played for the entire month. Now they get to MLS. They finish the season off and they just suck because they're exhausted from playing this long tournament.
hmm
We're going to see some effects going into that season. Like, I don't think we're going to see somebody win Leagues Cup and then make a run at MLS Cup. I feel like this is going to exhaust the league for
MLS
sure.
is too long of a season, man, to have a team technically go and go all the way. One in CONCACAF Champions League, MLS Cup. You have US Open Cup, Leagues Cup. I mean, we're talking about four tournaments right there. Where I mean, you have to focus on one. I feel like mainly, given just who you end up playing basically, or especially um, we
And Josh's
have
comment he just put in here. I mean, we've been talking about this, since Leagues Cup was announced.
yeah.
MLS does not have the depth. I mean, if you look financially at all these teams, Liga MX, and what they have on their bench, like their salaries, are insane. I mean, they could probably compare to some of the MLS teams, like maybe like a Cincinnati or a Charlotte. Like they're above that just on their bench. Like so, yeah, it's definitely a concern. And Josh, I think if they're embarrassed next year, because right now we haven't heard anything about being able to expand rosters or anything like that. If they get embarrassed, they are going to immediately change somehow how salary cap works, how the rosters work in general. They will figure out something very quickly because I'm actually hoping, I really hope that MLS gets embarrassed next year in Leagues Cup. I want them to get just wrecked, rolled over because I know we got a new CBA and it's, still out there for what, like 4 more years or 3 years. It's got to change. They got to figure out something. In this tournament, they're gonna get embarrassed,
That's
and
gonna
then
be
the
the
league.
difference maker. Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna come down to being the difference maker because if they're really trying to play this every single year, there's no way that they're gonna freaking get embarrassed year after year after year. I mean, it's already happening in CONCACAF Champions League and friendlies and whatever other games Campeones Cup and all that. But if you're playing this year after year, you definitely don't. I mean, TV ratings are gonna suck. People are not
Mhm.
gonna want to watch this. It's just, I mean, even the whole thing overall. I mean, Leagues Cup, they started it last year. Nobody really knew that it was going on until it was actually going on. You're like, what? Like these teams are playing Liga MX. And you're like, I mean, I really didn't know, like really until it was actually going on. We actually saw today it was announced too that LA Galaxy, LAFC,
Mhm.
Chivas, and America are gonna be playing that Leagues Cup tournament in LA and SoFi Stadium. So I definitely I would think maybe that the LA teams have the quality to, go up. I mean, America and Chivas are not the teams that they were a couple of years ago, or don't even have the quality or the depth or the coaching. A matter of fact, both of their coaches actually just got fired. Well, Chivas coach got fired yesterday or today. I'm not, but like it hasn't been more than 2 days, honestly. America's coach also as well got fired not too long ago, maybe a month ago or so. So it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, as well, it doesn't come down to the point. Well, I don't really care, man. I wouldn't give a shit if the LA teams get embarrassed, man. As long as it's not Atlanta United.
Yeah,
That's what.
Well, have they? You said something about TV. Have they even announced what League's Cup is going to be on?
No, they really haven't. Not this edition. I know the previous one was I don't
Fox,
know. I don't know the English channel. I know without a doubt to the end it was the one that had it in the Spanish channel. I know they always have like the when it's cross like the Mexican teams against the US teams, or the same thing, Mexico against US, they were always the ones that
ESPN. Josh says ESPN there.
Yeah, and to then yeah. And even with that, man, I mean, hopefully, man, you have more interaction from the fans wanting to see, because you definitely want that. You definitely want more interest of the sport. And going back to what you said, man, with the depth, with the salaries and all that, I feel like it's gonna change, man. It will without a doubt. By 2026, it's gonna have to change. I don't think MLS, by the time the World Cup is here, is gonna be that salary cap league. I hope it does. I really hope it doesn't.
It just depends on the owners, and I think there was like, I don't remember, but I thought when they were renegotiating the CBA, there was like 4 or 5 teams specifically. I think New England was like one of them, where they were like voting against like expanded spending. And that's why they created the U22 spots, and it has brought more quality in the league for sure. But man, with this salary, you have little room for screw ups, right? Like, you
Yeah.
sign a Jurgen Damm, you're really screwed from there. Are we winning the MLS Cup before 2026? It's a good one.
I would think so, man. Honestly, with the investments, that I told you the other day, I was listening to a MLS talk show in Spanish, and they were like saying that if there's a team that's most under pressure is Atlanta United, with the amount of money that they have spent, with the talent that they have brought in, with the talent they already had, and with Joseph and Sosa and all these guys, but you go out and get, yeah, what's this guy, man? Almada. You get the Ronaldo. Obviously not the real Ronaldo, but what I'm saying is, honestly, like, you really think that Atlanta United would be up there without a doubt a contending team, at least this year. I don't know about
You want my
winning
hot
all the
take?
way.
I got
Tell
a
me,
hot take.
come on.
So, I mean, we are all about signing young players. It worked. We won MLS Cup. It's not working right now. It's taking these guys quite some time to get up and going. It's not a sure
Mhm.
investment. Arthur Blank. Let's talk about Arthur Blank, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but look what was supposedly they tried to do with Deshaun Watson, right? They went out and tried to get the big fancy quarterback to bring fans in, to win games, even though the team had no depth. Eventually, maybe when Joseph leaves, or one of these other DPs they just go out there and they get one of the biggest names to come in, and it's an old guy that they're not going to be able to sell. And I know other teams have done it, but they go and they find the right veteran, and maybe they don't, but they just go and they try to. And I don't know who it could be. It could just be anybody. But like,
That
eventually,
would
this
that would be
model.
definitely, man, because I mean, yeah, we were talking about like the fact of bringing somebody that's a megastar, and not just come here and just bullshit. Honestly, I mean, we've seen players where it's like they come here and you're like, all right, did they actually play? Or there's been a lot of like of those incidents where I feel like Steven Gerrard was one of those, Frank Lampard, Pirlo. Now, one of the guys that really stuck out, or actually two guys that really stuck out to me, and you mentioned it as well in the striker position, was David Villa when he came to New York City, and Zlatan. Even though that neither of them actually won anything, but I mean they were up there, man. They were in that Golden Boot conversation. Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think David Villa actually won Golden Boot while he was here in MLS. But um, I mean, you look at it and like you said, you would want to have some guy that's gonna come here and I mean, like just be that knockout punch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know with Joseph, man. Hopefully he's gonna be able to come back to 70-80% of what he was. If not, man, honestly, I don't know, man. If by the end of the year we don't see a Joseph that sometimes is somewhat decisive, I don't know, man. If he's gonna willingly, just gonna want to step aside, or he's just gonna, I don't know. I really don't. I don't want to start speculating things or anything, or just saying BS, but um me being a fan, I would really want to see him, come back and at least give us a 2-3 more years of a couple, just not just really not be the guy that is just gonna be here just making bank and just not doing anything. You know what I mean? And even though he's done a lot for the city, for the team, and everything, I feel like he just as a player, man, he deserved better, man. He deserves to have a longer career and to keep on freaking scoring goals, man. I mean, that's what he freaking lives off of, and not just him, the team as well.
I mean, some of these guys that have these surgeries and cleanups, and sometimes it works. I mean, they just were. I mean, Odell Beckham tore his ACL twice, but they said after the second one, like it was a better surgery. Like they thought they did better. I mean, Joseph's now had 3 or 4 surgeries on his knee. Now, this is the cleanup, but if he doesn't do much here, I mean, Joseph might decide what his future is, right? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
Atlanta. It could be him. It could be him is the one that decides whether he wants to keep going or not. So, I mean, that this season's huge for this club and what the future is, because I could see a thing. I mean, God forbid we ever get to that point where Atlanta United uses their buyout for Joseph. I mean, we've gotten rid of Matt Ryan, and he was the highest paid player for the Falcons, franchise player. I don't know, and he made a lot of money. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but I feel like both team or the Falcons were in a different position than what Atlanta United are, and I feel like that plays a different role. So where I don't think they'll just throw him out like that or do that. I feel like it's really gonna come down to him making the decision. Or we had Josh over here saying where if he would come back, next year, not as a DP,
He
take a
has to
pay
come back
cut.
as a DP. I mean, I don't think he's Joseph's not going to take a pay cut. Last year, he was not doing well. Excuse me. He was not doing well, and he was already talking about getting another contract when Heinze was like it was Heinze or Joseph, and then Joseph was supposedly leaving.
Yeah.
He already started talking about getting a contract extension. Dude, you were not like he wasn't even scoring like hardly any goals at that time. He had like a couple at that point. So I don't buy that Joseph would take a pay, and he's already said he was not going to take a pay cut last year in the Felipe article. He's not here to take a pay cut. He wants to be the highest paid player. He thinks he deserves to be the highest paid player. I don't think he would take anything lower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, man, we just really hope that Atlanta United's able to make some smart decisions going forward. Especially this summer, transfer window is gonna be really crucial. I feel like to bringing in a guy that we really need, whether it's a veteran defensive midfielder or a forward, which I feel like we don't really need, but we'll see how Ronaldo ends up, playing out, or even Tom Dwyer, if he comes back as or he's the backup striker basically for both of them. So it's we'll see basically throughout the next month and a half or two, and once the summer transfer window opens up, we'll see what happens, and hopefully we're able to put up a good run at the end of the season. Bring in
Tito
Busquets from
Villalba, bring in Villalba.
dude. He's been balling, man. He's been balling down in Paraguay.
He wants to play for Atlanta. He's talked about in that article. I think we're name dropping Felipe left and right, but that interview he did, I think last year or a year and a half ago, he said he wanted to come back. He says no already, but I mean, it's exactly what we're looking for. Speed. We're supposed to be a counter team, right? Like I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to do counters. We are not fast. We are not a fast team at all. We
Hopefully,
don't have that
Ronaldo's able
pace
to bring
anymore.
that pace, man. I mean, we saw some type of we saw the speed that he's had,
Did we
with
though?
those.
Did
I
we?
mean,
Like
I feel like he. I mean, one thing is going against Charlotte, and another thing is going against top MLS defenders, or I guess you could say MLS defenders, but
we don't
I
know that.
feel
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it. First thing I did when I got home is I pulled up FIFA and looked at his speed rating. It sucks. But I mean, I don't know. I wasn't buying it. There. I mean, the play obviously looked cool, like him, messing that pass and then catching up and getting it again and creating that chance. It was cool. But I mean, he was also going against a guy that is slow as can be. So I don't know. I'm not getting too excited about it, but I still think that we need some type of depth on wing. I like Moraini. Maybe when everything's back, we can look at it again. But I don't know what our cap situation is. I know we still have the U22 spot. Like we have that one player. Long as long as Eric Lopez doesn't return, right? And I don't think he's doing anything out wherever he went. I don't remember where he is, but he's not doing anything, at least from what I've seen. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll definitely see what happens in the summer. Hopefully, we're not in a position where we're desperate to just find somebody to fill a role and come in here and do miracles. Hopefully, by the time summer comes, we'll definitely have Luis, we'll have Rosero, we'll have Joseph back. So hopefully by that time, we'll know exactly what we need to go out and, get, not just make some desperate purchase just because, we're not able to get the points basically, or able to capitalize on opportunities and stuff like that. But we'll see,
The
man. We'll
good news
definitely see.
is he was supposed to come back end of May, right? I mean, Atlanta doesn't play their next game until June 19th. So they have like 21 days off in between that. I think there's some international friendlies going on like around that time. So you're really almost getting 3 more weeks of recovery. So Joseph's first game, there's no chance that Joseph even sees the field before June 19th. So he's got
Yeah, I
a
mean, there
long
was
time.
speculation about him being back late in May. I doubt it. I don't think with how Pineda is
Stupid.
and the fact that they wouldn't risk it. They would not risk that one bit.
It would be stupid if they rushed him back. They're not rushing Hyman back, and they're not rushing Aruju back. There's zero chance they're going to rush Joseph back.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah, man. I mean, hopefully, man, Atlanta's able to pick up the 3 points.
Hopefully, this Atlanta
I don't know.
wins tomorrow night.
Yeah. I mean, those freaking I mean, that was a good game yesterday. I mean, they freaking clapped freaking Charlotte's cheeks.
Hey, at least we beat Charlotte, right?
Yeah, dude. Well, hey guys, thank you for to the ones that were here commenting. If there's any, hold on, we have somebody here saying any score predictions for the Cincinnati game. Man, my predictions have been so crappy this year, but man, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win. I'm not gonna get too crazy because I said we're gonna beat freaking Charlotte 3-2, but I don't know, man.
I was
I'm gonna
gonna
say
say
2.
2-1 too, but I'll change it and I'll just say 2-0.
Yeah, that's a good result, man. Hopefully, yeah, man. Getting a clean sheet is always nice, man. I feel like we struggle with that, actually having clean sheets this year. But hopefully, man. Hopefully, Josh, that's
What
1-0.
channel? Like, I heard there's a bunch of drama with like Atlanta TV and what I don't even think it's on Bally's. It's like streaming on AtlantaUnited.com and like some Peachtree.com. Like, I don't even.
Yeah, I did see that. That Atlanta United tweeted that out a couple weeks ago, but
I think they just
I don't
announced it
know.
this week. Like, I think it just came out like today, or like that it wasn't going to be on Bally's, which is weird because like people were like thinking it was about the Hawks, but even if the Hawks win tomorrow night, they don't play till Sunday. They play on Easter, so I'm not sure what their like why it got moved off of it. I know the Braves are playing, but like that's it. There's nothing else going on.
I don't
Um,
know, but no, I did see something about that a couple of weeks ago, but I really didn't pay attention to it because even I'm not even able to watch the games. I don't have Bally Sports or anything. I have to find some bootleg freaking stream on YouTube or something to watch the games. So
I'm in the same, well, because I'm in Ohio, I got like a 50-50 shot if I'm able to watch a Cincinnati game or not. Because Columbus would be blacked out for me. I have to go to a bar to watch the Columbus games.
you see,
But
the
with
same thing would happen with me at the beginning of the season. You would think that Charlotte, since I'm in their region now, I mean, basically in the same freaking state, and I'm able to not get blacked out anymore. And the same thing, some games I'm able to watch, but the recent ones I haven't been able to. Well, the one that was nationally televised, I was, but the ones that are on Bally Sports, I'm not able to watch, but. I don't know, man. Hopefully, I mean, even with that, man, I know there's a lot of people that have been criticizing that Valley Sports being the channel where basically Atlanta United streams their games. There's always been issues. There's always been freaking criticism on that. So hopefully they're able to look into that, man, because I get it. You want to have a local channel and everything, but I mean, you have a lot, man. You have, I mean, a ton of people that are outside of Atlanta United, outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and even outside of the states that are not able to watch these games because of the simple fact that they're on Bali. So hopefully that changes, man.
well, let's try to meet up and talk about this game and get ready for Open Cup where we dominate and we win 6-0.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, we definitely need to put a good image in the upcoming games because I don't think we have this so far this season. Not with the quality that we have, but we definitely can. It's just it'll happen. It'll happen eventually.
Well,
Yeah,
watch for me on ESPN tomorrow. I got really good seats to the Hawks game here in Cleveland, so I'm probably gonna be like the only Hawks fan at this game. So I'll be, standing up cheering and
yeah.
tuning it in
Where's something that sticks out? Like we're
like
there.
this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I figure they're probably gonna wear white, since they're gonna be home or something like that, right? So yeah, you're probably
I
gonna
don't know.
stand
Hey,
out.
I don't know what they're gonna wear. I usually match my jersey to what they wear, so I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, big weekend. Big weekend for Atlanta sports, and then if they win, they're playing on Sunday, so it's should be fun.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you guys to the ones that were here. Subscribe to FILA Sports Podcast. We're on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So, Tommy, you want to give out your Twitter, social media?
Yeah, let's go Ducks 96, and I'm back on the post games for Dirty South Soccer. So come talk about the win after we beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, I wasn't there last week because I honestly got a little pretty crazy, honestly, after that game, and I just wasn't having it. But yeah.
Hot take Sunday. Hot take Sunday.
But yeah, man, hopefully we'll be there Saturday, man. Saturday night we'll be there on Twitter Spaces, man. But thank you, Tony, for your time, man, and all the guys out there, man. You have a good one and go Atlanta United, bro.
Trae Young.
Yeah. Mr. Ice. All right, Tommy, man. I'll see you next week.
See you, man.
All right, dude.